last season was a groundbreaking year for Jamie Snowden. It was a career best in races won and a career best in prize money earned. And he finally found that Grade 1 winner, with Julius de Picton winning at the Aintree Grand National Festival. With the new season on the horizon, we've come down to the yard to get the inside line on some of his stable stars.
Last year was phenomenal. It was one of those amazing years that we'd had such a good year the previous year and a great year the previous year that, kind of thought, the momentum needed to keep rolling and it kept rolling and gave more. It was a wonderful year. So yeah, very much looking forward to this coming season.
And you've had a lot of big race success in your career, whether that be Cheltenham Festival winners, graded winners, but to get that kind of top level winner with Julius de Picton last year must have been the cherry on the top.
Yeah, you're very kind. Been a long time coming, I think, hadn't it? As you say, we've been very lucky over the years. Lots of nice winners at Cheltenham Festival and over the Grand National Fences and Paddy Powers and the Hennessy's. But yeah, just the one thing that was eluding us was that Grade 1. So it was a great thrill and a huge relief.
And going into this season, we'll start off with some of the more kind of household names. Galaw back for another year. I think he's rated 155 now. He's a hard horse to place, but he showed plenty of times last year. He still has plenty in the locker. He
certainly does. Unfortunately, we start a pound higher this season than we started last season off, which is a little bit harsh for not winning a race. But yeah, he was second in the Paddy Power last year, I think off a mark £15 higher than he won it off, a couple of years previously. And he was placed in graded company last year as well. So he's now 9. I think he's going to stay a little bit further now. We've been mainly campaigning him over 2.5 miles, really, and I think he'll stay 3. So I think we'll start him off in the Charlie Hall and then have a crack at at what was the Hennessy and now the Coral Gold Cup.
Colonel Harry had a bit of a curtailed end to last season, but looks probably a well-handicapped horse.
I think so. Poor chap, he was obviously a graded novice hurdler, graded novice chaser, and stepping into open company last year, he was a very good second in the Colin Parker up at Carlisle, and that was a stepping stone to the Hennessy, and just ran too free and didn't get home that day. Dropped back in trip at Cheltenham, and he took a nasty fall, and poor chap, he was in the vets for a while. He had a bit of an infection in the back leg, so he spent the best part 3 weeks in the vets. So that was the end of his season. But he's back in, looking great, and yeah, I think all those 2.5 mile handicap chases will be right up his street. So he loves soft ground, so praying for plenty of rain, but certainly have an entry in the Paddy Power and December Gold Cup and those kind of races would be perfect for him.
He had great fun with passing well last year in all those big staying races. He was placed, I think, in 2 or 3 different regional nationals. I assume similar enough will apply this year?
I think so, yeah. As you say, placed in the Ida, placed in the Midlands National, second in the Surrey National. Shame not to win one of them, but hopefully he's handicapped to win one of those, and hopefully if he does, then he can creep up into something slightly a bit nicer as well. So the Welsh National would be perfect for him, but he would need to win first to get into that. So we'll have to see, but he's a well handicapped horse to win one of these.
And Giftmaker is a horse that I know the Welsh National's kind of almost always been on the agenda to a certain degree, and you look back at the Kim Muir a few years ago, I think you were a little bit unlucky to bump into one.
Yeah, we bumped into the future Gold Cup winner. I know the way you're thinking, in a 0-145 handicap at Cheltenham. It's a bit of a shame, but yeah, they pulled a long way clear of the third horse that day, and then he followed up. He was third in the Scottish National on drying ground. He loves soft ground. So yeah, the Welsh National will be perfect. It wasn't right for it last year, unfortunately, so we missed it, but he's back in, looking great, and that's very much the target this year.
Super Survivor ended his season kind of mid-division in the Pertemps after you've gone back hurdling. Does he have still the option of going back chasing as well? I
ran him in the Welsh National a couple of years ago, and it very soft ground, and we lost him, to be honest with you. It was a year too soon, and it took us a year to get him back on track. He lost his confidence, he wasn't moving great, and he wasn't quite right. So back over hurdles last year, he really benefited. He won a couple of times, but he's a chaser, and that's definitely where we're going to go back to this year. We'll just get him back. He's looking great. He loves a bit of cut in the ground, so we'll be patient and wait for the right opportunity.
You had a very good string of novice hurdlers last year, none more so than Wendigo, who was second in the Shallow, then was a luckless fifth in the Albert Bartlett. All systems go to go chasing?
Very much so, yeah. He's a proper horse to go jumping, to go chasing with, and it's always been, you know, the exciting season to look forward to really with him. Very good bump horse, and as you say, a great novice hurdling campaign last year. He won twice and second in the Challenge. The Albert Bartlett was slightly frustrating because I think obviously he was almost brought down at the second last. I think he would have been third without that, but he lacked a chance to have a crack at the top two. But yeah, he's one we're looking forward to seeing over a fence this year.
What would you think would be the sort of targets that we could expect from him?
Depending on what the ground does at Chepstow in 10 days' time, I think we'll have an entry in that listed novice over 2.5. You'd like to hope that you might end up in something like the John Frankham at Newbury before going up in trip. Maybe the Quarto Star come Christmas time. So he's very much a horse that I'm looking forward to seeing over a fence and can hopefully be a proper graded horse.
We mentioned your Grade 1 winner last year, Julius de Picton, who unfortunately has met with a setback. Yeah,
he picked up an injury that day when he won up at Aintree. So he's just been on the off games list since. He could come back later on in the season. We'll just have a chat with the owners and see whether we just abide ourselves with a bit of patience and wait, which I think is probably going to be the likely route. But we'll just have to play it by ear. But he's another proper staying chaser for the future, and it'd be nice to keep him and Wendigo apart for as long as they can. So actually delaying a season might not do him any harm.
Lawrence Bay was probably one of the most outstanding winners of the season last year when he won the EBF final. He looked like he was tailing himself off. And Gavin Sheehan managed to get a great tune out of him, and he won pretty snugly at the line. What did you make of that performance?
Yeah, it was a remarkable day, really. I was giving the owners a lift down in the Jeep down to Sandown, and one of our boys was playing in a rugby match, and so Lucy had to take the Audi off, and I was giving the owners a lift down in the Jeep, and we had a blowout on the motorway on the way down. So I was under the car changing a tyre, and put it this way, I wouldn't be in the Formula One pit stop team. So I got there just as we had it on in the car, obviously, but we got there just as he was crossing the line in front, and certainly I was. It wasn't the plan to be as far back as we were in the EBF final, but the ground was just drying a little bit, and he was just caught a bit flat-footed. But he met the hill, a little bit of softer ground up the hill, and he really powered. And they got racing early enough, and he came with a wet sail and nabbed them on the line. And in Gavin's words, he got there too soon.
Do you believe, looking at that there's probably untapped potential of him over a trip, or do you think a strongly run 2.5 is exactly what he wants?
I think he'll definitely want a trip. He'll definitely want 3 miles. He's a proper stayer. He won his hurdle race over 2 miles at the start of last year, but he was always going to go up in trip, and obviously the EBF was the plan all the way through, and nice that it did pay off. But yeah, he's a proper future staying chaser, and he'll go novice chasing over 3 miles this season, and hopefully he can be a star for us.
And you've had brilliant success in the Jane Seymour Mares Novice Hurdle at Sandown over the last number of years. Hollygrove Cha-Cha was the latest winner for you in that race. She also goes chasing?
She'll go chasing as well, yeah. She's always been a very natural jumper, very good jumper of a hurdle, and she'll definitely go chasing. Very exciting horse to see over a fence. Schooling really brilliantly. Hard to get going for these better mares in novice chases. The programme doesn't actually suit them particularly well. So we'll just, once you are chasing, once you've got the mare chasing, there's a nice programme for you. But the programme doesn't really help you get chasing. So we'll just have to bite the bullet a little bit with her earlier on in the season, but hopefully that will pay dividends later on.
And you had some nice bumper horses last year. I suppose La Conquiere came over to you from Dennis Leahy's, was a mad price for the mare's bumper at the Aintree Grand National Festival, but well outrun those odds. Yeah,
so we have quite a few young horses over in Ireland at Dennis's. We've built up a little bit of a relationship there, and we're buying a lot of young French horses and send them over to Ireland to have a year or two's education over there before coming into us. And it's a system that's worked well for us, and Dennis actually owned La Conquiere, and she was second at Thurles for him over in Ireland, and Dennis sent her over to us and said, I think she's smart, but she is for sale. And it was such a dry spring, we couldn't find anywhere really to run her, so we chanced our arm in the Aintree race, and she ran a belter to finish second. She's a mare with a lot of potential.
What would her trip look like? 2 miles, 2.5 miles?
Yeah, she's quick enough. Yeah. So I'd say she'll certainly be over 2 miles. So yeah, going back to the Jane Seymour might be a little bit far for her, but that listed race down at Taunton might be ideal. As a stepping stone. Obviously, the mares race at the festival is over 2 as well, and those listed in Grade 2 winners don't carry penalties in the Cheltenham race. Obviously, when You Wear It Well won it, she actually carried a penalty in it, but now they've got rid of that penalty structure. It probably suits mares like her, and hopefully she can be very good.
Mentioning the Jane Seymour, would a mare like a Path to Ronda maybe be slightly more the type you'd expect to be at that trip? I
think so. She won a bumper on debut at Uttoxeter, very soft ground. She was a good fourth in that listed race at Sandown. Just stumbled going into the back straight and lost a lot of momentum, a lot of ground and a lot of confidence. And actually, it just took Gav a moment to get her back into her stride, and she did well to finish fourth that day, I think. So I think you can upgrade that performance, and she jumps really nicely, loves soft ground, and that could be right up her street.
And we've seen this morning plenty of a nice young point-to-point horses, French recruits as well. Would there be any names that our viewers should be putting in our racing TV trackers? Yeah,
we've been very busy through the summer recruiting new horses, and got a lovely point-to-point winner called Saphos Word by Poet's Word, who obviously won the King George. She looks nice. She's big and strong and scopy. She's only 4, but she's got plenty of size and strength to her. So she could be very nice. We've been over to France and bought a lovely bumper horse called Milpat. We bought a lovely horse off the flat called Senator, Dr. Dino horse. Very much a jumping pedigree, so I think he's done very well to finish third in 2 flat races, and he could be a nice horse to go jumping with. He jumps great as well. Been a little bit patient with him, left him out in the field for a bit longer, just try and treat him like a properly nice juvenile hurdler this year, and hopefully he can be very smart. And plenty of nice new ones, lots of pointers, and we've got a plethora of exciting young horses.